and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristin, and I'm here with Pink Fresh Friday, which I'm combining with May I Scraplift You and adding a little bit of leftovers to layouts. So, today for May I Scraplift You, I am scraplifting Scrappin' Cain, which is the Instagram. It's Jennifer Cain. Hers, it looks like it's an 8 by 11. I do have 2 pictures, although I've got 3 right here, but one's going to get cut up and won't look like a picture. And I'm using the leftovers of my Pink Fresh office hours. And I've still got quite a few bits and pieces of ephemera and a few of these chipboards and things. But the only paper I have left is some scraps like these right here. I don't use much of these, but I use quite a few of these bigger ones. And the last piece of 12 by 12 that I have left in this collection. And that's it. So I'm using it. It is going to go side by side with this layout I did on May the 14th for Scraplift Crafternoon. So I'm bringing in the same collection, the same inks, the same stencil, and documenting a couple pictures that go along with the ones that I documented on the 14th. So, hopefully, this is all going to turn out just lovely like. So I have my papers and scraps and leftovers. I have inks and a stencil, some ephemera, my pictures, and this really cool layout. So let's see how this goes. So I'm wanting to lean more towards the red tones and not the pink. So I am going to leave the darker stripes to the right. And so that bigger portion of scrap or stripes that she's got on the right side is what I'm going to use as my background paper. And then I'm just going to build up the layers and torn strips to the left going to the right. And I'm just trying to use as many of the scraps that I can. And I kind of jokingly put this cut apart one down and thought, I'm just going to lay this here. And then I realized that every one of the cut aparts on that side that was going to be exposed was perfect for these pictures. And so I decided to go with it because it says like master plan and I am very busy or something like that. So I felt like it was perfect. So I pretty much just used up the majority of these bigger pieces of scraps just to get this done. And I left the branding strip on this one so that I would have something to ink, or not ink, but put the tape on. And then I wouldn't cover as much of that up. Like I said, I'm not bringing in tons of the pink in this collection, but I'm leaning more towards the red, but I'm okay with that little break in that white paper. So first I'm going to put this prize ribbon down through the stencil. And like I said, this is the same stencil I used on the other layout. We were scrap lifting Melanie Hyatt for Scraplift Crafternoon. And I did a layout for that and decided I was going to use up the rest of my office hours, at least the main papers. And so I am doing that. I'm so excited. I just started using Pink Fresh last summer, and so I've not really busted through a collection yet, but I think I've purchased like 4. And then Tara, which is the paper snob, sent me this one because she was not getting the use out of it she thought she was. So I use I think it's fossilized amber, and I push that through over here on the left side, as well as since I did the blue on the right side. She has gorgeous florals that look like they're inked on, and that's what I'm kind of representing with the stenciling. So I've matted my pictures on 6 by 6 paper. It's from the paper pad, but it was actually scraps from that. And then I double matted it on black so they'd actually stand out. And I think that it would probably look better if the little picture's at the top and the tall picture's at the bottom. But the storyline doesn't go that way, and I am very visual, and so I have to flip them. And I'm fine with the way that it looks. I just thought it looked a little different, but I end up building a bigger cluster down below that longer picture, so it doesn't seem so odd, I guess is the best way to put it. Because if you didn't watch my video on the 14th, the layout that goes along with this, it all starts with this line of text messaging, and our admin staff, we have 3, we're out of the building, and the 4th in command is our curriculum coach, and he is one cool dude. He's hysterical, and while I know he can take things seriously if he needs to, he's the one who lightens the mood in our building. And so I sent him this message. We've been joking with him all day that he was the administrator in the building. And when the copier went down, it said something about to see an administrator. So when I texted him a picture of what the sign said, which is what that 3rd picture was, I just cut it out, and that's what's up there at the very top, that little white strip. It's what the printer said. So anyway, I messaged him and said, hey, what do we do? And he just suggested that we wheel it out to our main, very busy street and see if that works. And so then this was just a silly, back and forth between me and him. And so then I told him that that's what we were going to do. So in the end, the amazing Mary, who is in the picture at the bottom saluting me, she fixed the copier. She did not have to wheel it out onto the main strip where it would have been obliterated, considering they are our brand new copiers. It was a silly day. We had a lot of fun goofing off. It helps when things are crazy. And when the administrators leave, everything happens. And so it's always nice to just be able to chill out and laugh about the crazy things that are happening. And I do believe it took, I don't know, a couple hours for the daggone copier to properly come back up. So the other layout, they look like they're just beating up or destroying the copiers with lightsabers, when in all reality, it's really just rolled up paper. But, lots of movie references. And so when I did the layout back on the 14th, I added like a red stapler. So if you've ever seen Office Space, yep. But anyway, so I am using as many embellishments as I can on this layout, since I know I'm using up pretty much all the paper except for some 6x6 paper pads. So, but I love the way it turned out, and see how gorgeous her layout is. I love that. So I'm hoping that I did it some justice. I used lots and lots of Pink Fresh, so I'm super excited about that, and got the leftovers from this collection used up. So I will find a good place in my Pink Fresh stash to put the rest of the office hours, ephemera, scraps, and 6x6 papers, and hopefully I'll get some more things done with that. I hope you'll go below. There will be a playlist for May I Scraplift You. There will be a list of people participating with Pink Fresh Friday, and a list of people who are participating or who have been participating off and on with the leftovers, the layouts, if you're interested in checking any of that out. So here is my layouts together. I love them so very much. I hope you'll come back and see me again really soon. Have a great day and happy scrapping.